Hello friends, long time no see. I hope you are all doing wonderful and beautiful and fantastic this fine evening. And yeah, I know I haven't uploaded in a really long time and I'm kind of here to just kind of talk about some of it. I know I have a big problem with like consistency when it comes to uploading, but I think this is the longest I've gone without like uploading any video or anything. And I just kind of want to talk about like why. I had like a lot on my plate and I just kind of want to talk about it and mostly complain about it. Yeah, 2020 was absolutely horrendous, and I do want to say that obviously, like, I know that other people have it worse than me, and I was super thankful this year, like, with everything going on. I work in a pharmacy, so I was still able to, like, keep my job and everything, but there were still plenty of, like, awful things that have happened to me, like, most of my entire life. Like, I can honestly say, of all the years that I've lived on this planet, 2020 was the absolute worst year of my entire life so far. And I like to complain, you know, I like to bitch. And I don't really have anyone in my life that I can just kind of like sit there and complain to that much because I don't really like listen. So I'm gonna complain to the internet. And yeah, here we go. So I haven't uploaded for a couple months, and pretty much all of the bad things that were happening in my life kind of was part of it, on top of like school and just everything. So I'm here to complain about my life. And yes, do expect like regular videos though, by the way. I've already recorded, I just need to edit everything, and then we're gonna go back to, you know, like hentai games and stuff like that. But I want to complain. So I want to try and start from the beginning of the year and like move my way down, but there were so many things that happened, I feel like I'm gonna forget them, or I might go on a tangent because when I start to talk, I just start to ramble, I feel like. So I'm gonna try and focus here. There are a handful of things also that like were crappy to me, but I feel as though they're not significant enough, or I just, you know, it's not as terrible. So the first thing that significantly was awful that happened to me in 2020 was my knee issue. I'm sure if you're watching this, you already know about it, but I'm gonna kind of just touch on it a little bit. After school, my first semester this year, it was May. It was like the beginning of May, and the literal next day, I had like a little celebration with my roommates, like, yay, like I passed. And I don't even know what happened. I guess after, you know, talking to the doctors and everything, I kind of have like an idea of what essentially happened. I guess previously at some point in my lifetime, I assume recently because I fall a lot and I'm super clumsy, but I had fractured my knee at some point, but I didn't know. Well, I guess I had turned in a way that the fractured bone actually just flung itself across my knee apparently, and it got stuck behind my kneecap, and on its travels it tore a bunch of my cartilage in my knee, so I had to have knee surgery, so that's super fun. Also, my knee still is not better, and I'm kind of concerned I have to go back. I might have to have a second surgery, so pray for me on that because I'm not looking forward to that, and I'm gonna have a mental breakdown if I do. But yeah, I like can't even walk up the stairs without like it being like a problem. So yeah, that happened, and then so I was bedridden and everything for a while, and then as soon as I started going back to work, I was like on crutches and everything. And then I had a hand issue. I kind of talked about it in one of my videos. I'm gonna show you guys a picture. To me it looks kind of gross, but I don't know, so I guess like warning if you don't want to see it, this isn't as bad as it like started off as. This is what it initially looked like, and then it grew to this, and then it got worse. Like it started like, this is gonna sound gross, my hand started bleeding and everything, and it was just terrible, and I couldn't do anything. But I don't have a picture of when they were at their worst because I literally I was over it. I didn't want to like do anything. It was super embarrassing too because I'm like at work, people see my hands, and I'm like, I promise I'm not contagious. But that was super fun. My hands were painful for about 2 weeks, and there's still kind of some scarring on them. You can't really see them in this light, but when I get like hot, like if I work out or something, or if I get really warm, they're really significant showing, which is whatever, I don't care. It's like a scar, not a big deal. But it was super awful when I was experiencing it because I literally, it was painful to do anything. It was painful to even like pick up my phone or move my hands or do absolutely anything. Washing my hands especially was excruciating, or like using hand sanitizer. I wanted to cry every time. Also, moving on, My poor Mr. Noodles, he was my fish that I had for about 2 years. He passed away, unfortunately, and I was super upset about it because I grow like super attachment to like all my pets, and I was always making sure to like try and take care of him and everything, but he did pass, and me and my roommate held a funeral for him in my backyard, and I was like crying, and I put this giant seashell on his grave to like mark his grave, and somebody freaking stole it. Someone stole his damn seashell. So not only did my fish die, they desecrated his grave. So that also freaking sucked, and I was super pissed. The next great thing that happened to me in the wonderful year of 2020, I was involved in a hit and run. I was on my way home from school, and someone decided that they just did not want to be in the turn lane anymore, and they wanted to, I guess, merge back over into regular traffic, but they decided to not look or use a blinker or anything, and they just completely sideswiped my entire like left side of my car, and what's even best, they drove off. So that was super fun. Completely messed up my door, my tires, my fender came off, like my like back of my car. So I have a Jeep, so it like comes off, but the back of my car completely cracked. So I had to take it to the shop, and luckily I do have insurance, but it's still $500. And I had to get a whole new door, a whole new tire, a whole new rim. They have to replace the entire back of my car, which actually I have my car back right now, but I have to take it back because they had to order the top, and they used, it looks like silly putty almost to help with the crack, I guess, so it doesn't get worse. But that was super fun and fantastic. Yeah. Okay, another bad thing that happened, all of my banking information was stolen, and they used it to buy OnlyFans content. I was at work, and for like a week, I was getting emails that people were logging into all of my accounts. So I guess my email had gotten leaked, and I was like, okay, what the hell? So I was trying to go through and like change all my passwords and everything. And all of a sudden, I get like an email or like a text message from my credit card company, and they're like, is this you making purchases on OnlyFans? And I'm like, are you shitting me right now? Like, no, it's not. So I go in, and they spent like, luckily it got caught before it got like too far. They spent like $120 of my credit card information, and then it's when it texted me. So I go and check my emails, and then not only is all of my like accounts attached to my like particular email, it was like wild stuff too. So they had logged into my Facebook, my Twitter, my Ubisoft account, my Microsoft account, my Blizzard account. Apparently I had a Grammarly account that I didn't know about. They tried to log into my Netflix, but I don't have a Netflix, so I guess they tried to sign me up for it because I got like a thanks for signing up for Netflix type thing. And there was like a handful of other websites, but I don't remember off the top of my head. And I was like just going through, and I completely changed my email password, and then I made a whole new email, and I had to like I was deleting accounts and changing everything over to this other email, and it was just a hassle. And then I had to go to the bank and change all my banking information. I had to, because one of the, they stole like my routing number or something, and I was like freaking out. So I had to get a new credit card and then a new debit card. And speaking of debit card, by the way, with my like checking account, because I changed it, your girl missed out on the stimulus check because they tried to deposit it into my old account. So that happened too, and I'm super upset because that $600 was gonna go towards my textbooks this semester. So I'm just kind of winging it, and I'm hoping I don't need them unless I get that money sent to me in the mail. Otherwise, I don't know right now. But so yeah, that also happened. We're not done yet though, we're continuing. This actually happened the most recently, but I want to get it out of the way because it's gonna make me cry talking about it. A couple of days before Christmas. So I have 3 dogs. They don't live with me. They live with my parents, but I've grown up with them. And one of them, you guys, if you've watched one of my like Easter egg hunt videos with the doggies, I'm gonna cry. Hold on. I'm a big baby when it comes to like animals. But yeah, so our sweet baby Tippy passed away a couple days before Christmas. And I'm like God, I'm like the worst. I'm like such a big baby. And it was super sad, and he was our like rescue dog, and we had him for like 8 years. But he was like just old. Like we think he was like 15 or 16. We don't actually know how old he was when we got him. But we've had him for like 8 years, and we thought he was about 8 when we got him. So roughly like 16. But that happened, and that was just awful. It was a terrible time. But I'm done talking about it, because if I keep dwelling on it, I'm gonna start crying like for realsies. So yeah, for the most part, that's the most significant like issues that have happened to me this year, or I guess last year, 2020. There was a handful of other small things that were just problematic. Like honestly, not even to exaggerate, after I had initially like hurt my leg and kind of got like was able to walk again, every week, if not every other week, something bad happened. It might have been super minor, like an ear infection, or I got bronchitis, but something small happened every week or every other week that was just a problem after problem for me, and I was so sick of it. So that's why I didn't upload, you guys. I was just having like so many issues on top of school. School is gonna be the death of me, and I'm currently in 3rd semester right now, so super stressful because they've condensed 3 classes into 1 semester, and so you only have 5 weeks per class. And I'm just gonna say this, it's the first week of school actually, and we have 6 assignments that are due next week, on top of a math test also next week that you have to get a 90 on, or that you actually get kicked out of the program. And then the next week we have our first actual exam over 15 chapters on top of our lab stuff. So I'm trying to get as many videos and stuff in as I possibly can before I want to die. And yeah, that's how my life has been, but it might work out in your favor, because the more my life goes into shambles, the closer and closer I stray to making an OnlyFans. But with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a beautiful day or night, and please, please wish me all of the luck in the world that this year and school year and just everything, I'm not even asking for like a great year, I'm just asking for not a terrible year like I had experienced in 2020. I hope you are all staying safe and everything, and yeah, totally don't forget to like and subscribe so I can drop out of college, and bye guys!